Okay, welcome to Lesson 6, Discipline. Love it. Easy stuff to remember, not hard, all right? So this is AG 318, used to be PG 206. From here on in, there is no more AG. Next lesson, 207, is all going to be Patrol Guide, no AG. I'm going to remind you, every lesson, get that damn half a point, okay? It's not hard. The hardest part is the run. Everybody, males and females, have to do the run in a mile and a half in 14 minutes and 21 seconds. You get 0.2 if you do the run, then you get the 0.3 for the JST. If you don't pass the run, you can't do the JST. You're shit out of luck. Please take advantage of this half a point that the job is given to you for promotional exams, and also to keep yourself in better shape and healthy, all right? Because one day you're going to retire, and you want to be healthy and collect that pension as long as you can. 318.01, we're going to talk about command disciplines and their penalties, all right? We know there are 3 command disciplines. Schedule A, which you can lose up to 5 days. Schedule B, you can lose up to 10 days. And then you got a Schedule C, which you shouldn't be too concerned with. Unless you get banged with one, you can lose up to 20 days, all right? So A's and B's, command discipline allows the COXO to address minor misconduct, rules of violations at the command level. A command discipline Schedule C, it goes to the department advocate. It's in lieu of charges. The main thing you need to know with that is max penalty is 20 days. So your A's and B's. The COXO sets the penalty within these established ranges, all right? Already told you about the time you can lose. For Schedule A, up to 5 days. Schedule B, up to 10 days. What's another penalty? You could be warned and admonished verbally or in writing, and a copy will be filed with the papers. You can have your assignment within the command changed, either for a fixed period or indefinitely. What else? Revocation of permission to engage in outside employment for a fixed time period, but not to exceed 30 days, only if the violation is related to the outside employment. And last type of penalty, the job can restrict, or not the job, the COXO can restrict out of command assignments which pay portal to portal travel time and overtime for a fixed period, not to exceed 5 such assignments. So they're going to hurt you in your pocket there, okay? Schedule A command disciplines are for minor violations, non-judicial discipline that can be issued by a COXO for any minor violation, even if not specifically listed as a Schedule A, in order to correct deficiencies. Example of your minor violations are listed in the NYPD Disciplinary System Penalty Guidelines available on the intranet. Some examples: absence from post, assignment, improper uniform, etc. There are over 30 items on that list. 4 of them deal with losing specific items. Before I get into that, remember this. We're going to talk about A's right now and then Schedule B's. Know your Schedule B command discipline cold. So on test day, when they ask you what type of CD this is, if you know your Schedule B's cold, and it's not a Schedule B, it has to be a Schedule A. Unless it's crazy, then it would be charges, all right? So know your B's cold. But the A's I'm going to mention now, definitely know these Schedule A's. So 4 things you lose that belong to the job, because losing department property is a Schedule B, except for these. These are Schedule A's. You lose your ID card, Schedule A, you lose up to 5 days. Up to, remember, it could be 0. Lose your summons or summons book. And last one, department issued smartphone. So those 4 pieces of department property are Schedule A command disciplines. Now, what loss of department property becomes a B? Shield, prisoner, failure to safeguard, etc. Okay, we're going to have a whole list of that. Lose your firearm. When discipline action is to be taken for the loss or failure to safeguard a firearm, a consultation with the Department Advocate's Office will be made to determine appropriate disciplinary action. So that's the exception there. Losing a firearm most likely will be charges. So know your B's code, which we are now going to get into. All right. Remember, if it's not a B on test day, it's going to be a Schedule A. Unless it's crazy, it will be charges. We have an acronym for you. I'll go over the acronym in a minute. Let's go through the Schedule B's. Losing your shield. Failure to safeguard a prisoner. Now be careful with that. Failure to safeguard a prisoner. You don't have to actually lose the prisoner. So you have a cop sitting on a hospitalized prisoner. You walk in to do your routine scratch. The cop is sitting in a chair with their head back. Prisoner could be shackled, duct tape. The cop is out cold like this with their head back, all right? And I'm saying that because I just saw this on social media. Obviously, a cop fell asleep in the hospital. And let me just tell you, let me just veer off. Yes, that's wrong, and that's a safety factor. But you know what's even more fucked up? You people out there that are posting this shit on social media against a fellow cop. That's more fucked up, all right? The cop is wrong for falling asleep, but why are we eating each other? We're throwing each other under the bus. There's shame on you if you're one of those fucking people who shared that video. And I don't mean to veer off, but shame on you, okay? So, Schedule B's again. Losing your shield, failing to safeguard a prisoner, losing your activity log. Now, they're in the phone, but they're referring to the old blue books. Be careful. Omitted activity log entries is a Schedule A command discipline. What else is a Schedule B? Losing department property. With the 4 exceptions. ID card, smartphone, summons book, Schedule A. What else is a Schedule B? Failing to respond, report disposition promptly or acknowledge radio calls directed to the unit. Unauthorized radio transmissions, Schedule B. Bringing alcohol into a department facility, vehicle, unless within the scope of assignment, Schedule B. Failing to give name and shield number to person requesting, Schedule B. Unauthorized use of a department vehicle, Schedule B. Any force, abuse of authority, discourtesy, offensive language, aka FATO violation, that in the opinion of CCRB NYPD is appropriate, is a Schedule B. And here's a catch-all for the CO. Any other violation which in the opinion of the COXO and after notification to the Patrol Bureau Adjutant and consultation with the Department Advocate is appropriate. So I went through your Schedule Bs. Here is a great acronym. Get this acronym down. FAL, FRAP are your Schedule B command disciplines. I'm not going to go through it again. We just went through it. Use the acronym. All right? Very, very important acronym that will get you the question right on test day like that. 31802, issuance of a Schedule A or B command discipline. This is going to come back on you as the supervisor. So you're going to issue somebody a Schedule A or B command discipline. So supervisory member, conduct investigation upon observing or becoming aware of a violation of the rules or procedures by a member of a lower rank. If necessary, prepare a supervisor's complaint command discipline election report. That's the green paper, all right? And notify the violator if the CD is issued. Don't be one of those bosses that bang CDs out and they never told the person they gave a CD to, all right? So, you're going to issue a CD. You will notify the desk officer at the member's command. That desk officer makes a required entry in the CD log. You will obtain the next serial number from the CD log, which starts at 1 each year. Then, you submit the command discipline to the subject's commanding officer. If the MOS is from a different command, give a copy to your own CO. Sounds easy, right? That's all it is. Where as a boss, when you're going to issue a CD. Let me give you a scenario, okay? So, we're responding to a detail in the 17th precinct. Whatever parade it is you're working, a detail in the confines of the 17th precinct. We have a cop from PSA 1 who's on the roster. The supervisor is from the 7-5 precinct. So, you're a sergeant from the 7-5. You have a cop from PSA 1 on your roster, and this is all taking place in the 17th precinct. And you're going to issue them, let's say, a command discipline, Schedule A, smoking in public, in uniform in public, okay? What do? Forget about all these different commands that I threw out there. The main thing you need to remember is, it's called a command discipline. Where does the cop work? So the 7.5 sergeant will call the PSA 1 desk officer to get the next CD number. Now, what do we do with the actual command discipline? The actual original green copy is going to the CO of PSA 1. Same place you called for the CD number, right? That cop's CO. So now, what else do you have to do? You got to give a copy to your CO, the 7.5 CO. Why? Because the CO of PSA 1 is going to get this CD, open it up, and he's going to see that one of his cops was banged out by a 7.5 sergeant. So the next thing that's going to happen is the CO of PSA 1 is going to call the 7.5 CO, and they're going to have a conversation. So you want to give your CO a heads up. That's why you give him or her a copy of the CD. So, cop got a CD. What happens now? The cop, within 3 working days of receiving the COXO's decision of what they're going to do, you have to notify the CO in writing on the CD of the option you elected. Whether you're going to accept it, you want to fight it, or you want to send it up to the review panel, okay? So it's 3 working days, and listen to what it says. Within 3 working days of receiving the decision from the COXO, you have to notify the CO in writing of what you're going to do. So COXO's decision, but notify the CO in writing, not notify COXO. You never know, but please get that down in case they try and trip you up. Supervisors who issued the CD, enter all relevant info for each case into the appropriate department database as necessary. Next actor says ICO or assistant or other authorized member. So this could be a sergeant. Enter all relevant info into the citywide command discipline system within 5 working days of issuance. So the cop had 3 working days to decide what he wants to do. Now within 5 working days of issuance, entry is made. Then complete all entries regarding adjudication within 5 working days of adjudication. So everything is working days in this procedure. Removal and destruction of disciplinary records. They've gone here, this little part, on prior exams. Schedule A command disciplines. If a member has no subsequent disciplinary violations, records and dispositions of convictions of Schedule A command disciplines get removed and destroyed on the anniversary date of the entry. Unsubstantiated Schedule A's or B's. All unsubbed CDs get removed and destroyed from the CD log on the anniversary date of the entry. Now here's where they went on a prior exam. Schedule B command discipline. If you want to seal the record, we're not talking about unsubbed, we already covered that. You want to seal the record of a Schedule B command discipline. The MOS must request by doing a 49 to their CO on the 3rd anniversary of the date of disposition. Don't let them say anniversary date of entry. Date of disposition. And if there's no subsequent Schedule B's or charges during those 3 years, the CO will expunge from the member's command folder. Sealing of a Schedule B command discipline is not automatic. The member must request in writing. AG 31805, cause for suspension or modification. Before we get into the procedure itself, remember, sergeants, lieutenants can only suspend. They cannot modify anybody, all right? And civilian MOS cannot be modified. They can just be suspended. 2 actors in this procedure. Ranking officer in charge or in command. That's going to be uniform sergeant or above. And the other one, not too concerned with, but they're mentioned. Traffic managers and above. And school safety deputy directors and above. So, sergeants and above, uniform members of the service, sergeant and above, must suspend any MOS for the following list. Great acronym, having a dog in the car. Know it, all right? By authority of and without prior conferral approval from the first dep, you must suspend a MOS for having a dog in the car. So, before we get into the actual acronym, on test day, if a member does any one of these, the answer is going to be must suspend. Don't fall for after conferring with the department advocate or after conferring with the ICO, you suspend. No, you must suspend. So what's the acronym? A, member of the service is arrested for a penal law crime, misdemeanor or felony, or VTL 1192, subs 2 through 4A, DWI or similar from an out-of-state. The D, refusing a dole test, must suspend. O, refusing a lawful order, must suspend. The G, for GO 15, refusing to answer questions at a GO, must suspend. The C, the club, have an interest in, association with, or patronize a GDS club, good ass club, except if you're performing duty. What's the GDS club stand for? Another good acronym there, right? Gambling, drugs, after hours, social club, smoke shop. The A is for AWOL, 5 consecutive tours. Don't confuse this with the actual AWOL procedure that applies, all right, to only uniformed member of the service. Remember the AWOL procedure. When a cop is not at work 2 hours or 4 hours after the start of the tour, you have to take certain steps. Civilians are not in that procedure. Civilians are included in this must suspend procedure. Civilian AWOL, 5 consecutive tours, will be suspended. And the R, for roll call, refuse assignment at roll call or during the tour. MOS who is suspended for any of the above must be resuspended for any subsequent violations of the above. What happens on test day if they are unfit for duty? Are you suspending anybody? No, you are not. That's another procedure where you're going to call the captain, all right? Any questions on the law, ask the legal bureau. Any questions on the procedure itself, ask the department advocate. 31809, MOS arrested includes civilians. When we say MOS, that's uniform and civilian. So, MOS arrested within New York City, the cop or civilian who was arrested, immediately notify the arresting authority of your position as a member of the NYPD. If you receive a personal service summons for a criminal violation, you ought to notify your CO and provide a copy of the summons. If arrested by other than NYPD, all right, the feds lock you up, then you are promptly to notify the desk officer precinct of arrest. The desk officer who gets the call, notify IB, operations, COXO duty captain, and when you call IB, you provide IB with all info regarding the arrest. Now, if the member is arrested outside the city, something to keep in the back of your head. There is no desk officer and no telephone record entry in this part when they're arrested outside the city. MOS, same first step. Immediately notify arresting authority of your position with the NYPD. Then you will notify your CO, and then you will notify operations. AG 31810, unfit for duty. Very, very testable procedure. Very, very easy. This applies for uniformed members of service on or off duty who are unfit due to alcohol or drugs. Does not apply to civilian MOS, all right? Because they're always unfit for duty. So, supervisor, there's going to be 2 scenarios. You're going to be at roll call. Cop is going to be swaying, bloodshot eyes, smelling of alcohol, or somehow it happens out in the street. An incident happens, car stop or whatever it is. MOS, not MOS, uniform member of service, apparently is unfit for duty. Step 1, and notice we have these steps in number order. Please know them in order because they can ask a hard question. which of the following steps should the supervisor take first? And all these steps that the list are good because it appears in the procedure, but what's the first thing you do? Direct, subject to remain at department facility or other location and await CO duty captain. Notice how it says await CO duty captain. Now you think that's step 2? No, it is not. Step 2 is to immediately prepare supervisor's fitness for duty report, and then step 3 is to notify COXO duty captain to respond. That's all you are doing when they're unfit. Don't take guns, don't suspend, none of that, all right? Those 3 steps for you to do in this unfit for duty procedure. All right, make sure you do your homework, not too much because this is just to get your feet wet. Next week we'll be covering more important stuff, PG 207. If you like what you see, this content we're giving you, hit the like button, share it with your coworkers, all right? If they signed up, if they didn't sign up yet, let them know what we got going on because the test will be here, all right? Spread the word. Also, follow us on Instagram, LinkedIn, Snapchat, Twitter, Facebook. We throw a lot of videos out there with good content. We throw bonus questions out there. We have by the numbers out there that are thrown once a week. Also, a lot of important information about job stuff is disseminated on social media. So make sure you follow us on all the platforms, all right? Keep up the work. Guaranteed to do great on test day. And remember, preparation is the key.